Tov, everyone. Something strange happened this week's Parsha. In the beginning of the Parsha, before Nadav and Avihu dying because of what they did, we celebrate the beginning, the actual start of working in the Mishkan. And Moshe says to Aaron something very strange. He says, "Vayomer Moshe LaAaron, krav el hamizbeach," which is Moses said to Aaron, "Come near to the altar and perform the service of your, etc., of all the things that God commanded you." And Rashi explains why Moshe needed to tell Aaron, "Come closer to the altar, to the mizbeach, and start working." Rashi says, I'm just going to read a little bit of the Hebrew because it's beautiful. She'aya Aharon bosh v'yare lageshet. Aaron was ashamed and fear, and he was afraid to come closer. So Moshe told him, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. This is why you've been chosen, to be the Kohen Gadol. And everyone understands Rashi basically saying, not so long time ago, Aaron was the one that kind of lead the golden calf scene. So now he's a little bit afraid of being the one that's going to open the work in the Mishkan. Maybe I'm not the right guy for that. Maybe I'm going to mess up again. I don't know. So he's a little bit afraid. And so Moshe tell him, you know what? This is why you chose. Don't worry. Hashem is with you now. Now is the good thing. Come closer and start work on that. So again, he was a little bit ashamed. Bosh, Aaron Bosh, ashamed. Later in our Parsha, we read about Moshe that explains something to Elazar and Itamar, the remaining two sons of Aaron, something about sacrifices, how to do it, and they're doing something else, or at least that's what Moshe think. They're doing something else, so he's mad at them, and he tells them, you know what, you needed to do ABC, and you did something else. So Aaron come to Moshe and tell him, well, this is what you said. And he's basically telling Moshe, they did it exactly what you said. You were the one that mixed it up. And the verse says, Vayishma Moshe vayitav be'enav. Moses heard and he approved. Vayitav be'enav, it's much more than just approved. It was good in his eyes. And Rashi says this time, Hoda ve'lo bosh lomar lo shamati. He admitted and he wasn't ashamed to say, what? I didn't hear that. It's your mistake. Immediately he said, oh, you know what? It's my mistake. I get it. I admit. Vayitav be'enav. It's good, that thing. So I think what we can learn of that on Moshe and Aaron about shameness of like leaders that are ashamed to get decision or to be the one to lead. Sometimes we need our leaders to be ashamed a little bit, to be afraid, to take seriously the step they're going to do. Like Aaron. He wanted to start to be the one that's working in the Mizbech. He was afraid a little bit. You know what? I hope I'll do it right. So Moshe told him, you can do it. And from the other hand, Moshe, standing there, Aaron just proved him wrong. How many leaders we know that wouldn't admit their mistake ever? And he said, you know what? Vayitav be'enav. Okay, my mistake, my wrong. And maybe, I'm not the one to say that, but maybe this exactly what Nadav and Avihu's sin was. They didn't shame at all. They just took whatever they took, they brought it into the Kodesh HaKodashim, and they thought, okay, that's me, I can be a leader now, I can do it. And I think this is maybe one thing we can learn from Parshat Shmini, to our leader, of course, but also to ourselves, to know where to be, when it's the right time to be shy, and to think a little bit before we're doing something, when it's the right time also to know, you know what, I'm not shy, I can admit my mistake, and this is my place now to do something right.